Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, The 9 to 5 Musician. Sorry we've been away for a little bit. We were actually moving and there was a lot going on. You know how moving goes. And so I'm really happy to get back started and see you all again. So as you can see, we're in a new studio, new space, and I actually bought my own piano, which is very exciting. And we're just getting settled and we're very happy to have this nice, beautiful, bright and spacious apartment all to ourselves. So today's video is gonna be all about life after graduation and after school as a musician. I remember being in college and wanting to quit so many times as a musician and studying music because I just felt like I didn't know what the future was gonna hold, if it was gonna work out, or what to expect. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you're studying music currently, or if you would like to in the future, also have a lot of these questions. So I'm just going to cover a few topics, probably the biggest ones that I feel like I went through and I saw a lot of other people either struggle with during college and also after college as well. You probably have your own story, your own background, everyone does. But I think something that we all go through, actually no matter what field you go into, once you finish school, you have this kind of, I don't know, freak out, oh my gosh, what is life going to be like now? What do I do? How do I situate myself in the world? And so there's kind of three main topics that I would like to focus on today. And the first one is the imposter syndrome. So first, I would just like to break down what the imposter syndrome is. So basically, it's the idea that you feel like you're kind of fooling everyone and that you're not meant to be or you're not good enough to be doing what you're doing. And if you break it down really simply, it's kind of funny because unless you're a professional con artist, I really don't think that you've tricked every single person around you in your professional career into believing that you're good enough to do something. It's just not possible. It wouldn't be sustainable. And so the idea of the imposter syndrome in itself is just a complete falsehood. So let's say someone gets criticism and they feel like, oh my gosh, they figured out that I'm not good enough. And so one person here might respond by completely shutting down and just saying okay, no, I'm gonna quit. And then the next person might say let me show you, and go into hyper productivity mode and work 3 times as hard and just show them how amazing they are. So the most important thing when it comes to the imposter syndrome is just simply how you react to it. It's ultimately up to you how you want to respond to them, because probably more often than not, whoever says this or whoever is evaluating you, they're not going to remember this even an hour later. And so you're the one sitting with it. And so it's really time to get in conversation with yourself about how to better deal with your confidence around the imposter syndrome. Because in itself, that's an imposter. It's not a real thing. It doesn't exist in reality. It only exists in your head. Okay, so the next topic is being a musician without deadlines or without assignments. You don't realize when you're in school that even though you're completing the work, someone's giving you a schedule, giving you deadlines, giving you ideas of things to even do, right? It doesn't feel like that at the time. It's oh my gosh, why do I have so much homework? And why did all the teachers plan the tests on the same day? Because that's just how school goes. And then you're out of that and it's just complete silence. And so one of the most important things to realize once you get out of school is that you become your own teacher. And yes, that's right. For those of you that don't like to teach, surprise, you are your own teacher. You have to plan everything and you have to make your own structure. You have to put yourself out there. You have to apply for the 200 jobs to get one of them. And that's just how life goes. And honestly, that doesn't matter what fields you're in. But for performing arts fields, it can feel very daunting. But in general, once you graduate and you feel that sense of floating and you're not sure, it's time to sit down and make a system. You have to switch your focus and you have to start building these skills to basically manage yourself. You have to market yourself. You have to know how to wake up and get things done. You have to even know what to do. So my best advice for students who are in college is it's not impossible at all. I've made a comfortable living being a musician with different focuses. I mainly teach, but I also do write and I perform when possible. And this is completely doable. Like, I'm nothing spectacular. Like, I started playing music in high school. Like, I didn't go through the ringer, and I've managed to figure this out. So if I can do it, really anyone can do it, because I don't know, I just kind of made it up as I went, and it's somehow working out. Okay, the last major topic that I would like to discuss today with you guys is about comparison. So ironically, in school, you have so many people to compare yourself to, right? There's constantly people around you either performing a harder piece, I don't know, singing better than you, something like this. There's just always a million people to bounce your ideas off of and compare yourself to. And that's really challenging. And so when you step out of that environment, depending on how you react to that, it might be a positive or a negative that a lot of that is suddenly gone. Because you're not constantly going into a classroom and seeing other people's work, there is less of an immediacy to compare how you're doing to others. And so you have to be careful with this balance, because it's either easy to get too complacent, or it's easy to just feel paralyzed. And then you start looking into the professional world. So now you're comparing yourselves to people who have probably 10 to, 45 years of experience over you. And it's easy to feel really, really, really small. So my advice here is to try to strike a balance. Find something, one topic that you're really, really passionate about, focusing your professional career on, and then find some levels of comparison. Find someone who's exactly your age, in the exact same spot as you, and see what they're doing. And then maybe find someone who's, 5 to 10 years older that you really admire, and then just see what they're doing. And honestly, if you're comfortable and you're close with them, like, I'm sure they'd be happy to talk you through like how they got there and some of the steps that probably propelled them forward professionally and mistakes that they had to make. And then there's like the people who are 30 to 40 years, down the line from you. And there's just so much to learn from people who are veterans in your field, because they have such a different perspective than you do. And it's so kind of restorative to be around people who have a completely different experience. And so when you get out of school and you either have the absence of comparison, or you don't know what to compare yourself to, if you feel like you need something to guide you, then that's a really good way to kind of look at it and establish what you would like without getting overwhelmed with how many people are doing everything. Just find like 1 or 2 people in each stages of life and let yourself kind of, just take it in and take what you can. And so finding one person in each of those categories can be really helpful to getting yourself situated and feeling like you know what you want to do, and a healthy level of comparison for your goals. All right, everyone, that is it for today. Those are just the 3 biggest topics that I remember worrying about and seeing others worry about in school. So I really do hope that touching on each of them and giving you some different perspectives helps you to get comfortably on your feet after school. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you like what we do here, and give us a like on this video to let us know what topics you are interested in. I'm really excited to be back with you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!